What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the AST springs. As you guys saw in the previous video, we definitely installed the AST springs on my G80 M3, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. One of the most chatters you guys have on the forums is, do these springs and this setup make noise? And I can tell you this, we're gonna deep dive into that right now. So as you can see, currently right now, it's on the AST springs, and on the AST springs, I think it gives it a nice, really sleek stance. So as you can see from the back, it's super flush. There is pretty much no rubbing. It's right there where I want it. And I spent hours on the forums trying to figure out which setup I wanted. But in this scenario, we're talking about a scenario where you guys have the Pirelli tires. If you guys lost the tire lottery, that means basically you have the Pirellis. But you can definitely see from the fitment wise, it's super flush in the front. And if you guys watched the other video, we have 18 millimeters in the front, and we have 15 millimeter spacers in the rear. I really think this is probably one of the best setups you could do. Again, there's no rubbing. The only rubbing you will have if you don't modify your fender liner. Inside the fender liner is plastic, and that plastic housing, it's gonna start rubbing, especially when you wanna go with aftermarket wheels or you wanna go with a flush fitment. So there's many different things you could get. You get the I&D replacement for that, which gives you more room. Or you could do what I did, was basically just cut off the plastic slots. So originally, we're gonna be discussing this outside with the beautiful, amazing scenery, but all these bugs started coming out and just interrupting when I'm talking, so we took it inside the garage. Since I'm taking it inside the garage, I'm gonna hit you guys with some amazing B-roll. So. So we all know fitment is very difficult to figure out. And if you guys don't really read the forums or you guys are not too much on Instagram and stuff, sometimes people really want to tell you the fitment, but I'm gonna tell you guys the fitment with this. I'm gonna tell you guys, like I said in the beginning, if this AST springs make noise. So as you can see right now, the current fitment on the car, I think it's spot on. The rear, what we have right now is a really flush fitment. We have 15 millimeter spacers in the rear, right? And we have 18 millimeter spacers in the front. What I do like about the 18 millimeter spacers is that it really completes the look. And in the beginning, when you first look on the forums, a lot of people recommend doing the 12 and 15 fitment, which is a very conservative fitment, but when you want something that's a little bit more aggressive and more flush, definitely guys consider getting the 15s in the rear and also the 18s in the front. I looked at constant forum posts, I looked at many different photos, and I gotta thank a lot of you guys that have been doing it, because you guys are the guinea pigs, because I don't want to go through spacers because it's excess money that I don't need to spend on spacers. All right, so the main reason why you clicked on this video is because you want to know if this spring set makes any noise. I can tell you this, for the past week, there's been no problems. I haven't heard any noises or binding. I know sometimes people hear it right off the bat. And a lot of that, I spoke to other people, other professionals in the industry. A lot of that is user install error, where some things were installed incorrectly, and which is why you hear a lot of those binding issues. I know when the AST springs first came out, they were one of the first ones on the market, lowering these cars to the best ride height that we saw on Instagram. And I can tell you this, there was some issues that were brought up, right? And all those issues were brought up right over here. AST went back and kind of revised some of those problems. And in this setup here, this is version 2, which all those issues have been corrected. I can tell you this, I'm gonna give it a little bit more time and give you guys an update, but I'm gonna show you guys how much has changed. If you guys saw the initial install video, and I'm showing you right now, you can see a lot of it where the ride height hasn't settled. And I can tell you this, you should probably wait until it settles a little bit more. Give it about a week, maybe a week and a half, depending on how much you drive your car, because your ride height eventually settles because the springs have to endure those weight of the car so it can get to that proper final height. And at that point, then get alignment, because if you guys have more knowledge about this, I don't think you need to get alignment right off the bat. I didn't get the alignment right off the bat. It drove straight. I didn't have any steers to the left or right. I didn't have any weird vibrations. I can tell you this, the car is lower now than when you saw in the first video you saw with this car being lowered. I can tell you this car looks absolutely amazing. And just looking at it, it just makes me want to drive the car more. So I was driving this car with my wife when it just got lowered. And I can tell you this is turning a lot more necks. It's making people look at it more, because now it doesn't look like it's a stock car. It's lowered, it's aggressive. Ricky and Jennifer, if you're watching this, inside joke. But I can tell you this, it looks absolutely aggressive. So when I mean aggressive, right, it looks more OEM plus. It has that more defined look. It accentuates all the curves and body lines. And I think with this proper ride height, in my personal opinion, because some of you guys may have a different opinion, I think this looks absolutely incredible. Again, I think this is one of the best setups you can get that's going to be the most cost effective. The springs itself are about $300 to $320, depending on what type of deals you may get. And also when you get them with the spacers could probably run you about $200 to $300, depending on which brand you go with. If you guys didn't watch the spacer video, which has been a couple months ago, I ended up putting matched Snell spacers. And I know I talked a lot of smack with my F80 with the matched Snell spacers, but I know this setup was going to be temporarily. I was only going to leave these wheels on temporarily with the spacers because I do have my wheels coming in. I got confirmation today that the wheels have shipped, and I'm super excited to showcase that on this channel. So definitely stay tuned. If you guys haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I have so much more content coming. And I don't ask this often, but guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. It really helps my small channel grow. The support has been absolutely amazing. If you guys like the content, definitely hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. But this video is not gonna be too crazy and too long. I just wanted to basically give you guys my initial impressions, and I'm loving the way this car looks. I think the spacer setup and also this spring setup, on point. So what I did wanted to mention, also ask you guys, for the ones that have the Michelin PS4s, just because we're a community out here, let me know what your guys' setup is in the comment section, because people do read the comments and I'm sure they'll probably want to figure out what's the best setup for them. Again, I will remind you guys, this is an aggressive setup. So far, there's been no rubbing issues. If you plan on not modifying your inner liner, which is a plastic fender, then maybe don't go this setup. Maybe go with maybe a 12mm space in the front. But I will say it won't complete the look of being really flush and have that really aggressive look. But if you want to basically have this set up and have no problems with rubbing, what you could do is modify the fender by cutting those fins off, which I had Marlon do, or you could purchase the IND replacement fender liner, which I think I'm probably going to do in the near future. I would say in the next 3-4 months maybe, because I do want to protect that inner liner from debris and stuff. But that's later on. I have a whole bunch of things planned for the next 2 months, and I'm giving you guys hints. It's gonna be a pretty epic 2 months. I think you guys are gonna enjoy the future content of this channel. But other than that, I wanna thank you guys for watching this video. Again, the support has been absolutely incredible, and I wanna thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.